Hello everyone, I'm back from my vacation and yeah, I decided to make more videos. I mean, by now you probably know that just because I decided to make more videos doesn't mean that there will be many more videos, because I tend to sometimes randomly lose motivation, which obviously is quite bad. But now in the new year and with Heart of the Swarm coming up, I hope I can keep it up. And today's video will be about the Code S matches tomorrow. Well, tomorrow morning for me, might be night for you if you're in the US or something. Anyway, the matches are Hyung against Bong Bong. I really hate typing Bong Bong, but that's just a side note. And the other match is Yoda against Squirtle. Actually fairly surprising that Bong Bong got into Code S. At least that is quite surprising to me. Yeah, let's look at a bit at like the last matches of those players. So here we have Bong Bong, and you will actually see that he has played like an absurd amount of Terrans in the last month. Like he has had one ZVZ against Hyun, his opponent now, and one against Revival, and the other one is against Coca like half a year ago. Of course this list is not complete necessarily, but it gives us a good picture that Bong Bong is actually has actually not won ZVZ, at least in the official GSL matches, in like, I don't know, half a year or something. And yeah, so that alone, and the fact that Hyun was in like only barely lost the final of GSL Code S last season, well, like basically points us towards Hyun being quite a big favorite. Here we can see Hyun's last matches. I mean, you probably know all that. He beat Bogus in the semi-final and then lost to Sniper 3-4 in the final. Yeah, but still, the line right now is quite well one-sided, one could say. It's minus 215 on Hyun and plus 181 for Bong Bong. And to be honest, I did bet on Bong Bong earlier, like before I looked at all the stats, because the line was a bit better at the time. I bet on Bong Bong plus 205, which would be 3.05 in decimal. But I mainly bet because I just wanted to get that line because it looked quite good to me. I mean, like, obviously Hyun is quite a favorite, but I thought Bong Bong isn't that big of an underdog. I mean, he managed to get to Code S after all, even without going through the up and downs. And well, I mean, yeah, CVZ does not have like that many early game build order wins anymore, but there's, I mean, in every matchup you have variants, and yes, if Bong Bong prepares well, he certainly has a shot at winning. But then when I looked at the stats, especially the fact that Bong Bong really has been practicing CVT a lot, and didn't have to practice much CVC. Obviously now he had time to practice that, so we shouldn't overestimate the fact that he played so much CVT lately. But still, it should be a bit of a factor. And also Hyun definitely practiced a lot of CVZ for his last GSL finals. And yeah, like, so now that I looked at it, I'm not that happy with my bet anymore, and honestly, I think I would not recommend you to bet on Bong Bong right now, especially because the line got a bit worse after I bet. It's as I said, it's plus 181 right now. But on the other hand, I'm not sure whether I would bet on Hyun. I mean, if the odds get better, I would consider it if I were you. But right now, as boring as that might sound, I think I would just like rather just pass on this bet. Another thing that might be a bit of not really an advantage for Hyun, but sorry, for Bong Bong, is the fact that Aquilon flats I mean, I haven't played that map super much, but like the natural, it does not have like a very tight choke point, like for example Shakura's has, and so there's a bit more you can do with like some early bailing aggression, and the more you can do with early aggression, basically the more variance you have in a match, and so the smaller the edge of the favorite is, and yes, like that maybe Hyun has to play a bit more safe, or he doesn't and takes a lot of damage early on. Like those kind of things can certainly happen, uh, because like even if you're the favorite, I mean, you can lose a game so easily. Like one bailing hits a couple of links of yours in a bad spot, and suddenly you're quite far behind. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I honestly I haven't watched Bong Bong much lately, so it's not so easy to say. And if I'm a bit unsure, yeah, like my recommendation would be to just stay away from it and look for a better spot. The second match is actually, unfortunately, not that much more interesting. We have Yoda. I think he is a pretty good player. For example, I think 1 or 2 seasons ago, I remember seeing him play against Oz, and I was fairly impressed. I also heard I think I'm not sure whether he qualified for TSL 4 back then, but I think he had some good runs in the qualifiers at least. And I heard like from another Terran player that he watched replays of Yoda, and Yoda actually played very good. Many of you might not know him that much because obviously he's overshadowed by being in a team with MVP, and MVP gets pretty much all the spotlight when it comes to Terrans in IM. But still, Yoda is, in my opinion, a very solid player, and I will. Where do I have it here? Here you can see in his up and down group he actually beat Yonghwa, MC, and Vampire, Jaedong, and he lost to Flash. Funnily enough, he lost against Bong Bong in Code A. I didn't see those games though. And sorry, I'm still a bit tired from traveling. I just arrived yesterday evening after a very long travel from Singapore. Sorry, what did I want to say? Ah, yes. Yeah, Yoda. Fairly solid player, I would say. Recently he was at IEM. I will quickly show you here. He went 4-1 in his group. He only lost to Soke. I'm not sure what happened there. I guess Soke had a very good run. He beat Nacho Verdi, Jukto, and Daistar. I guess beating Nacho and Yukto is pretty good, even though Yukto actually had a horrible performance there, which surprises me. And then he beat Grubby 3-1 and lost to Parting 0-3. So overall, I would say pretty decent performance, but the 0-3 against Parting obviously also shows that like his PVT isn't like top right now. And yeah, the thing is, his opponent Squirtle also hasn't had like the most stellar results recently. I was quite surprised he made it back into Code S. I mean, he was like top Code S basically some time ago, but recently he has really fallen off a bit. He lost against Yonghwa in Code A. Like his international results have been like okay-ish, but not all too great. But still, I think the reason why Squirtle is the favorite here is for the most part that he simply has more experience, like in stage matches, and that's actually worth a lot. Like having more experience than your opponent. Right now the line is minus 148 on Squirtle and plus 126 on Yoda. It's a pretty hard one. We can also look at the map. This is the first map. Remember, Code S's losers pick. Belgier Vestige. I'm not sure how you pronounce Vestige, to be honest, but anyway. And as you can see, there's like a lot of airspace around the main base, and that's something, especially in the top left, there's super much space around the main base, and that is actually something that is very bad for Protoss players. For example, there's like Shakura's Plateau is considered a very good map for Terran against Protoss, simply because of the fact that there is so much space around the main base that Terran can use to fly dropships or Banshees around, and it's very hard for Protoss to cover all that. And yes, so I think the first map is fairly good for Yoda. The third base is also like not too close to the natural. There's like multiple pathways that lead to either natural or third, so it's not too easy actually to defend that against the usual like 2 or 4 medivac aggression that comes from Terran. And yeah, the thing now is, I mean, again, the bookmaker here did a fairly good job at setting the line, because I kind of agree. Like, Squirtle is a bit of a favorite, but obviously not a super big favorite, because, well, neither Squirtle or Yoda have had like super good results lately. Basically, yeah, Squirtle has a bit more experience, is maybe a bit better player, but like nothing big. The map might be a bit better for Yoda, and well, maybe Squirtle has had a bit more time to prepare because he was not at IEM in Katowice or Katowice. I don't know how you pronounce it. So yes, again, it's a bit boring, but I personally haven't bet yet. If the odds on Yoda would get a bit better to, let's say, like maybe to plus 140 or plus 150, I think I would bet on Yoda here. Simply because the map is good, and Yoda is a solid player who has, in my opinion, been like rising lately. And yeah, then I would bet on Yoda. But right now the odds are by a bit too little to bet on it. And also, to be honest, I did not follow that much StarCraft during my vacation. Actually, I did follow StarCraft very little. I actually had a vacation, like something I haven't had in a quite a long time. So yes, again, you might find it a bit boring, but I think it's better to pass on bets that you are more like kind of unsure about. And yeah, if you really want to bet, then bet on Yoda in this match. I wouldn't bet on Squirtle personally, unless the odds get like quite a bit better on him, obviously. Then you could consider to bet on that. And yeah, I guess somewhat of a boring video today, but I think it's also good to learn that you sometimes just have to pass on bets, and you can't really bet on every match, because more often than not the line is actually quite accurate and there's just no money to be won. And of course you can bet, I don't know, €5, and so the game is a bit more interesting to watch, but I generally try to avoid that and just bet to actually try to make money. And yeah, so not the greatest day for that, but maybe the next Code S group will be better for that. And yeah, I plan to make a video for like every Code S group from now on. Let's see how that goes. As you know me, I'm not making any promises, because I know myself that yeah, it's just like things happen, you know. And yeah, but anyway, the plan is there, and let's see how it goes. If you don't have an account for betting yet, I will paste the link, like either like inside the video, and you can like, where's my hand? Here, like you can like click on it, you know, like you can put those boxes into YouTube videos, and then you can click on it, and then you get to the site, or it will be in the description. Yeah, I think I should stop talking now. I'm kind of tired already, and I'm probably babbling nonsense. Anyway, click on the link if you don't have an account yet, and I might actually. Sorry, I forgot what I wanted to say. Anyway, good night, and hopefully see you soon. Yeah.